It's April 2024, and there's a domestic flight flying somewhere over Australia. One of the crew members just finished doing their rounds, walking through the cabin, checking buckled seats, and collecting trash. When they finish, they go to the back and they check their phone. But they notice something weird when they try to connect to the Wi-Fi. They see the airline's Wi-Fi network, but there's also another one with the same exact name. Character for character, the network is identical. There's two networks both saying that it's the airline's guest Wi-Fi. And this crew member doesn't just ignore it. They found it strange enough to report it, and good on them, because this report kicked off an investigation that would bring down a 6-year-long digital crime and intrusion of privacy. So the plane lands in Perth, Australia, and the federal police are already waiting at the gate. They began searching crew members' bags and checking the carry-ons of everyone on the flight. When they finally reach a man named Michael Clapsis, in his carry-on bag they found a laptop, a phone, and this little device about the size of a small router. It's called a Wi-Fi pineapple. Now, a Wi-Fi pineapple is actually a legit tool. It's made by this company called Hack5, and it's been around since like 2008. Security professionals use it to test networks and find other security vulnerabilities. You can literally buy one online. It's $100, totally legal, and it's a normal thing. It acts as a platform. It gives you the tools to monitor wireless traffic and see what devices are nearby and the networks that those devices are looking for. You can even create your own access points. But you have to set all of this up yourself. The device isn't doing anything shady on its own. It's just the hardware. The person using it decides what to do with it. So Michael configured his pineapple to broadcast a network with whatever name matched where he was. Airline guest Wi-Fi when he was on a plane, or free airport Wi-Fi when he was sitting at a gate terminal. This is called an evil twin attack. And he built the fake login pages himself. He set up the whole system to capture credentials when people typed them in. Now think about where this guy was doing this. Airports and airplanes. Places where everyone is bored and they're desperate for internet. You're sitting at the gate with an hour to kill. You see airport Wi-Fi and you connect. A login page pops up asking for your email. You type it in without even thinking. Why would you think about it? But that login page, it could be fake. It could be running on a Wi-Fi pineapple. And whatever you type in goes straight to whoever's running it. Michael set it up to look like standard captive portals that said, sign in with Facebook or Instagram to continue. And people would enter their usernames and passwords, thinking that they're just logging into the Wi-Fi. So when the police grab his devices and they start going through them, they found a lot. Thousands of intimate photos and videos, all private stuff that people had stored in their accounts. Over 6 years, this guy had collected more than 700 photos and videos from 17 different victims. A lot of it was explicit content, personal stuff that was never meant for anyone else to see. One of the victims was only 17 years old, and another was a cop. Some of them were people he actually knew personally. But most had no idea anything was wrong until investigators reached out to tell them. The day after the police searched his stuff, Michael panicked. He deletes almost 2,000 files from his cloud storage. He tried to remotely wipe his phone, but the phone was already in police custody, so that didn't work. Then he found a way to hack into his old job's laptop, and he used it to access confidential meetings between his company and the cops investigating him, trying to figure out what they knew about him. None of that helped. On May 8th, 2024, the police showed up at his house with another search warrant, and they officially arrested him. The court case was rough. Victim impact statements talked about feeling violated, exposed, and unsafe. One person said that Michael severely invaded their privacy without consent. Another said even though he never physically touched them, it felt like their body had been violated. That's how deep this kind of invasion goes. The judge called it systemic offending, and it showed a planning, persistence, and willingness to obstruct justice. The defense tried to explain it by saying that he had a form of autism and that he never shared the images with anyone, but none of that really changed anything. On November 2024, Michael Clapsis was sentenced to 7 years and 4 months in prison. So what does all this mean for you? Practically, is public Wi-Fi safe? The thing is, public Wi-Fi isn't as dangerous as people make it sound. And that's because HTTPS, which stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure. You see it at the beginning of most URLs. HTTPS encrypts everything between you and that website. So even if you're on some sketchy network and someone's watching your traffic, all they see is scrambled data. They can see you're going to Instagram.com, but they can't see what you're doing there. They can't see your password or your personal DMs. It's encrypted end to end. And here's the good news. Almost every site uses HTTPS now. Your email, your social media, your banking apps, your shopping sites, it's all pretty much standard at this point. So just being on public Wi-Fi doesn't automatically mean someone could steal your info. The real danger in what Michael was doing was the fake login pages. You see, HTTPS protects you once you're already on a legit site. But if someone tricks you into typing your password on a fake page before you even get to the real site, HTTPS can't help you there. And bad guys are really good at making a page look like the real one. So that's what you actually need to watch out for. When you connect to public Wi-Fi and a login page pops up, look at what it's asking for. Normal Wi-Fi portals might ask you to accept terms of service, maybe even enter an email for confirmation, just basic stuff. But if a Wi-Fi login page is asking you for your Instagram password, your Gmail login, or Facebook credentials, that's not normal. Real networks don't need your social media passwords to let you browse the internet. It's most likely a phishing page. Close it, don't enter anything, and just find another way to surf the internet. Michael ran his operation for 6 years before anyone noticed. And the only reason he got caught was because one crew member looked at their phone and said, that's weird. But how many other setups like this are running right now? At airports and coffee shops, hotels and conferences, just harvesting and collecting passwords from people who will never put the pieces together and connect the dots that their now hacked accounts is actually linked back to that random Wi-Fi that they connected to last month. I hear the stories from people all the time. They got hacked and they have no idea how. It could have been so many different things that they're just unaware of. Most people just don't know what the threats are. But that's exactly why we're here, to tell you stories just like this. So listen and learn and don't get got.